People get so caught up in squatting that they forget to stand up. That's the complete hip extension of a squat.
Welcome back to 9408 Fitness. I'm Jonathan Horton with Kerry Houston. We are back today to discuss another one of the exercises from our 7-minute fitness test. If you haven't seen the test, go back, watch some of our previous videos discussing not only the test, but some of the exercises. But today, we're gonna go over the next one. Kerry, take it away.
Today we're gonna do the air squat. Okay, it's gonna be very easy. I'm gonna show you guys how to break it down, get in there, and just do all of the little complexities that you need to get the air squat done. It's fun, make it easy. Let's go.
It's one of those easy exercises, right? But it can be done very wrong.
Very wrong. John, how is your squat?
Oh man, I don't have a good squat at all. I've got those gymnastics ankles, which don't bend well. So I've had to make some adjustments to do it properly.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go over that.
We're gonna be totally talking about that whole thing, okay?
Yeah, so let's go. All right, everybody, so what is a squat? Sounds like a simple question, but you'd be surprised how many people don't understand a simple air squat. All it is, posture. We're gonna talk a lot about posture. Kerry's gonna go over some of the details of the squat here in a minute. I'm just gonna give you the basics of it. Simple, squat down to 90, all the way back up. This is a simple air squat that you can use in lots of different types of workouts. Why do we want to use a squat? So I'll tell you one of my favorite quotes from a movie called Miracle. If you haven't seen it, I write about it in my book. I've seen the movie probably 20, 25 times. Quote from Herb Brooks, the head coach of the hockey team in that movie, says, "Gentlemen, the legs feed the wolf." It's so true because our legs can lead to so many more things. If you have weak legs and a strong upper body, your overall level of fitness is not that great. The legs feed the wolf. We've got to make our legs, lower body, as strong as possible. That's why you want to have a strong squat, strong legs. If you have done the 7-minute fitness test, you know that the goal for our squats, our air squats, is to be able to do 40 in 1 minute. Now, that's a lot of squats. You got to be moving pretty fast. And again, your legs have to be very strong to be able to do that. Not only strength, but cardio to get 40 in 1 minute. So Kerry is going to take it away, go over the ins and outs, the minute details of how to do a squat properly.
So the air squat, guys, basically means that you're not adding any extra load onto your body. You're basically just, you're squatting in air, but it's not really air because we're using your own body weight, okay? So when you add more load, it puts more load on your actual body. That's when you get a bar or actual weight on top of your shoulders or overhead or whatever. But focusing on just your own body is called the air squat. There's so many different ways to focus on it, but we're going to focus on the basics today. So the basics of an air squat, first of all, starts with very good posture. Okay? You have to start with really good posture and try to maintain this good posture as you're doing your squat. Posture means everything is lined up. The back of your head, your shoulders, your hips, and your heels. If you're like this, you lose that angle. If you like this too much, you lose the angle. So you want to try to start with a very good posture here. And then as you go into your squat, you're going to feel several things happen. You're going to feel your hips engaged. Okay? Hip mobility is going to be very important here. Also, you're going to have ankle mobility. That's flexibility in your ankles. Okay? All these things are going to affect your squat. As well as what I hear all the time as a coach and a trainer. Coach, it hurts my knees. Okay, I can't do a squat, or what do I do to keep the squat from hurting my knees? Many years ago, I almost gave up on doing squats because it hurt my knees. And that was because I wasn't doing it the optimum way. Once I got with some guys that knew how to actually teach me how to do the squat properly, the knee pain went away. And you can actually do squats no matter what your level of pain or injury or whatever going on with your squat, you can do the squat. So we're going to go over that a little bit. But let me show you guys the basics of the squat, and we'll go from there. Mind you, once again, me like John, I was a gymnast. This is not my strong suit, but I've worked on getting the squat even better. You want to have your feet forward, about shoulder width, and just slightly turn the toes out. Then, this is the key. Your knees want to go that way first. They don't want to go straight ahead. They want to go out. Your first move should be out with the knees. Even though my feet are still going pretty much forward, my knees go out this way. That allows my hips to line up properly, okay? If you know that when we lay on our backs, as babies, when we first come out, our legs go out, okay? Because that's our natural way that our hips line up. So with that, we want to go into that squat. We want to keep our good posture with the arms going up because this keeps us counterbalanced, okay? The arms provide counterbalance as you're going down because now our hips are naturally going back. The hips are now counterbalanced, okay? So, one thing about knees going out, down to the squat, and back up, down, and up. Now, there's different levels. There's a squat, there's a regular squat, and there's a full range squat, where you go down a little bit lower, okay? A little bit lower. As you squat lower, your arms can lift up just a little bit to help you to keep your balance as you go into it. And we're going to focus on the different levels of the air squat so you can work towards your goal. We're going to start with very, very basic. You want to find something to sit down on. It can be a bench, it can be a chair, whatever you feel comfortable getting up from. Now the reason that you need to have this squat ability for your overall health and fitness is because it's something you do every single day. Okay? Whether you're getting out of your car, squatting and standing up, whether you're getting up from your couch, whether you're getting up from the table, you're doing a squat. You're doing a form of a squat. Okay, remember, our overall goal is total health and fitness, complete overall health and fitness. Let's use this to just practice with. Again, you want to work on getting your posture, okay? Go ahead and get to where you can comfortably sit down with your arms up, try to get those heels down, and stand up. And then first you want to sit down all the way, work on that good posture, and stand up. And then you can just touch. Okay, this is pretty easy for some people. This is very challenging for some of you. It doesn't matter. Challenge yourself, find what level you're at, and keep on working from there. So this is the bench squat. The next step, you just step away from that and pretend it's there. Pretend that bench is there, and then do the exact same thing. Okay, you may feel yourself lose balance like me, and that becomes another issue that we're going to talk about, ankle mobility, just a little bit. But for now, work on that squat, press the knees out. Press the knees out as you squat. What that's going to do may be different than what you've heard before. Pressing the knees out, it activates the glutes. A squat is supposed to activate the glutes completely. It takes the pressure off of the knees and works the quads and the glutes like they're supposed to. That's why we press out. Hips line up, glutes activate, quads work, and now you're doing a correct squat. Also, one thing about keeping your shoulders relaxed and not rounding as you're doing your squat. Okay, guys, I'm going to go over the do's and don'ts of the squat.
That's why I'm in the video.
Man, John and I
I'll show you the don'ts.
That's right. John and I both have a gymnastics background. We're both pretty powerful individuals when we did our sports, and that can come at a cost, which usually means, in this case, when you're very springy on ball and like on the floor, and you just do a lot of bouncy, powerful stuff, your ankles and your calves get really tight. They can be really tight, and you can lose some of that mobility, which is great, which makes us nice and springy and quick, but it can really make your squat position not look as good. You have to work a little bit harder on the ankle mobility. So let's see what yours looks like, John, and then we'll kind of go from there.
So my squat isn't that bad if I'm not going too low. Right? So if I'm going to here, I'm not even at 90, but if I try to go lower like we discussed, what I have issues with is immediately you'll see when I try to get low, my ankles come up off the ground. And I'm pretty unstable here. And this is the issue with a lot of people. They try to keep their posture, they try to activate the glutes, they try to do all the things that you're talking about, Carrie, but they don't have that ankle mobility to really utilize the entire movement. And be able to get the full range of what a squat can do for you.
So this is something that I also have struggled with and constantly working on trying to make better. And there's some really good drills that you can do. First of all, you can really focus on trying to get those knees pressing out. We're from Texas, and I say you got to think like you're bow-legged. Bow-legged, for those of you that aren't from the South, that means that when you're riding a horse, right, you feel like your legs are pressing out, and when you get off, you're still walking around.
We're very much from Texas.
Very much from Texas. So first of all, pressing those knees out is very important. Secondly, you can just work on some ankle mobility, just getting, just like stretching.
A couple stretches that I used a lot in gymnastics because, yes, my ankles are very stiff. And it's not the only sport that creates stiff ankles, but a couple exercises that people know of that may not use every day, these should be done every day. 2 ways of just pushing against the wall. First one, this is more of a calf stretch. This is stretching my calves pretty significantly, and you can push pretty hard on this. Don't want to make it hurt, but you want to make it slightly uncomfortable. You want to activate the ankles and the Achilles. Stay in the same position, just bend the knee. You bend the knee slightly, completely different stretch. I'm feeling it in the top of my ankle and my Achilles back here. And I'd sit in this position for 30 seconds to a minute every day, each leg before starting to train. And even with that, the amount of explosive training that I did as a gymnast and a lot of other athletes do, even with that much stretching, still have stiff ankles and makes that squat range very, very challenging for me.
If you have pain in your knees and you're like, don't think that you can actually squat, you can. Just squat to the range of motion that you feel comfortable. You can successfully do a squat even if you can't go butt all the way down to the ground like some people. You still get lots of benefit from just squatting, standing up, and squeezing your glutes. Don't forget to get full range of motion and stand up all the way tall when you do your squat. That's important. A lot of people get so caught up in squatting that they forget to stand up. That's the complete hip extension of a squat. So if you have pain, you can squat. And there are also some things that you can do to help you get a little bit lower once you're ready. It's called elevation. You see some people squat barefoot. That's awesome. That means that they need no help to get all the way down in their squat position because they have such good ankle mobility. You see others, and even Olympic weightlifters, use what's called lifting shoes. This is the extreme. It has this heel. Your foot is elevated. That now allows you, because your heels are lifted, that allows your hips to get in a better position to get down a little bit lower. And then you have other shoes like a cross-training shoe, which is kind of like in the middle. Okay, it has a little bit of a heel, but not a whole lot. So just these changes in elevation can really make your squat a little easier. Like John showed you earlier, when he was squatting, his heel was coming up, right? But what if it's already up? What if it's already up when you go down? You can grab a plate. What if your heel is already lifted, right? It's already lifted. Now, so much easier because it's elevated. See how much better my squat is? See how much more natural I can even squat by elevating. Now step off, I have to work. See what happens? I have to work. My bottom goes back a little bit more. Elevation. It's like magic. So play with both of those. The goal is to be able to get on the ground and do it barefoot, but take your graduations. There's so many different ways to work on the squat and enjoy the process.
So Carrie, quick question. That's a pretty small plate. Is it okay to go to a bigger size plate? We've got some bigger ones over there. If the ankle mobility is really bad, can you use a larger plate?
Absolutely, it still works. This is a 15-pound plate. You can also grab a 25-pound plate. I will tell you that when you get too big, it gets a little bit of diminishing returns. You kind of lose some of it. But 25 is about as high as you want to go. But yes, it still works, but you really want to still focus on, you should be able to tap your toes. See that? I don't want the weight on my toes. I want to be able to tap my toes. If I can tap my toes, that means I have the weight in my heels. And my knees are going out. Good posture. You can do the same thing with just pulling down a mat. Anything to elevate your heels, guys. Anything to elevate.
Oh yeah, it's a lot easier to squat all the way down. You know what? I have a significant amount of tendonitis in my left knee. By elevating my heels, I'm not feeling any pain in my knee.
That's awesome.
This is actually the first time I've ever done this. I've always just done a traditional air squat, and as soon as my heels feel like they're about to come off the ground, I just don't go any lower. This is nice. Now let me try this one. Oh yeah, it's even better.
You're going to scoot your feet back on there just a little bit. There you go.
Right there?
Yeah.
So, go down and tap my toes when I'm down.
Yeah.
So my weight's on my heels.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, just need a little
So you don't want too much weight on your toes.
Right. Well, most of it on your heels.
Yeah, like a tap.
There you go. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. You can do a toe tap. Just a little self-check.
Yeah.
Remember I talked to you about how an air squat is all about loading? Well, a great way to work on your hip mobility and getting lower in that squat is to unload. Unload the body so you can work on that range of motion and mobility. I like using this band to take off some weight. And all I do is go in like this. I put it right around under my rib cage here. So now I feel nice and light. Now I hold on, I just go down. And that allows me to really get down nice and low. And again, because I have tighter ankles, it makes me gives me a chance to work on my posture, get my heels nice and flat, chest up, and just do some squats. It makes me slow down, work on that range of motion, and stretch. And forces my posture to be perfect. Right? My back is up, my shoulders are down, and it just feels good. It's a nice stretch. I love doing these to warm up for my squats.
Kerry, would you say that that's a light, medium, or heavy band that you're using?
This is a heavy band, a very thick, heavy band. You can even double up bands, or whatever you feel comfortable with to take off, to unload, put it on. The more that you unload, the more you can just really get in there and work on good range of motion. And then you step away from that. Now I feel nice and loose. Now I can work on getting that air squat. It feels better already. Just from that little bit right there, my squat feels better. Now, I'll tell you guys, there are people that are just natural squatters. Like some people are just naturally strong. Some people naturally have better hip mobility, better ankle mobility, better posture. But everyone can do the best of what that person is. Everyone has their best squat. Everybody can do the squat. Some are going to look prettier, but everybody can squat.
Okay, guys. So, hope you got a lot out of our I guess you can call it squat tutorial. There's a lot of information in there. And Kerry, I mean, you know so much about squats. Kerry's worked with a lot of the power lifters and weightlifters, people that are experts in this industry, so he knows a lot about it. But I'll let you kind of close it out here.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. You know, the air squat, it's very basic, but this is the foundation. You need to really work on that air squat, making it try to groove it, because from there you can start building and adding on and getting better at other things, like your back squat and your front squat and your overhead squat, bounding squats, jump squats. Okay, but it all starts with a very good air squat. So just perfect it and build on it.
Yeah, and there are some pretty famous workouts out there that utilize the squat, like the Murph.
Right.
Everybody's done the Murph. 300 air squats in one workout destroys you by the end.
Absolutely.
And so I love the importance of the foundational movement of a squat. It's very important. Anything else you want to add?
That's it. Just keep on working on that position.
Yeah, so thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back with another video next week. And make sure that you like and subscribe. We will see you guys soon.